Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And here I'm going to continue with the section B first time Form 5 maths exam revision. Now I know the background sounds is a little louder because I'm still in the staff room and the teachers are talking. Yes, so but don't have time to edit the sound, so you will have to bear all the noises. Okay, let's get started. So in this video we will be doing the variation again. So here you know that there's a price. This P varies directly as the square root of t and inversely as the square root of v. Let's translate this line first. What does that mean? So we let p be varies, right? So square root of t first and inversely as the square root of v, volume, okay, v, not l, okay, don't fall into that trap. Anyway, so that's your equation. You get 1 mark by that, and the next mark that you can get is by substitution. Okay, here, so it's 4 years and then how much and then how many volume. So you input that. I'm gonna write everything on the bottom so for a better view. So now you know that the P is 1152. T is how many years? 4, and volume is 10,000. Okay, and then next just replace the unknowns with these values. Alright, remember to keep that square root. And also remember to keep that square. It's very, very important. Now what can we do next? You can try to see if any of these can be calculated. For example, this one, square root 10,000. Yes, if you click in calculator, you will get that as, how about upstairs? 4 square means 16, so 16k there, and the downstairs it will be 100. Now you have to find the k. Why do we have to find the k? Because it's what made by our own. So k is here next to it 16. This 100 is far away, so you deal with that first. 100 here is divided, so if you move to the other side it will be times 16k, and then now you don't need that 16. You also can multiply it to the other side. You will be able to get it as, here it's times, so if you move to the other side it will be division, and in the end you will get the whole thing as 7,200. Try to click on your own. After you find the k, always remember to rewrite the equation. It's very important. That's what the question needs you actually. Okay, so that's it. That's for part A, and then we will continue. Let me just make it a little smaller. Yep, it's easier to have a smaller version, that's why. Let me just move it here then. This is your part A. And then for part B, when you start doing the part B or part C, I will suggest that you write the equation once again first. It's for your own reference, of course. So part B, rewrite the equation and see what does the question need. Now question, we need to find P. Do we have our T? Yes, 5 years. And then what's our volume? 40k. Good. So P we don't know, we just put it there, and all the other things just replace it. T is replaced, not T square, so just T is replaced, and square is still there. Same here, square root is not yet replaced, just the V is replaced by 40k. Now this whole thing you can click calculator. 7200 bracket 5 bracket square over means division. You can click the division button or even the over, the ABC button, and then square root. There's also a square root button in calculator. Try to figure it out where it is. So 40,000, and see what do you get for your P. You should be able to get that as 900. Yay, good. So that's it for section B. And section B was a little easier, I know, but it's okay. You can keep trying a few times so that you are 100% sure of it. Okay, now part C is hard. You have to find the percentage change. What is percentage change? How will you find it? That will be by New minus old over old times 100%. Now what is our new and what is our old then? We have to find the percentage change of the 6-year-old juice in 2 years. So after 2 years and now 6 years old, and after 2 years, what's the difference between them? So you find the new one, you also find the original one. So original one, that means the 6 years one. So if it's a 6 years old, what's the price, what's the volume, and what's everything? Let's see. Write the equation for the 6 years old first. P, we don't know. Years, yes, we know it's 6. Do we know the volume? We also don't know. Just keep it there. So that's the original one. Now how about the 8 years old one? Just the year is changing, right? So you also just change the years. Okay, that's it. But you have to find the percentage change. So what's the change here to here? Well, what you can do is write everything. The new thing, this whole thing is new because you have to find the change in the price. So it's already in price. So this whole new thing minus the old thing. Now I'm not calculating the answers yet because I want to do something else. Divided by the old thing times 100%. What to do next? You will have to see, is there anything common? There might be something common. Common means same. So these things are common on top. So on top we take that out first. And what's left? 8 square minus 6 square. And the bottom, same thing. It's still that thing, so alright, 10 times 100%. Now why I took out? That is because now I can actually cancel these out. Okay, they are same, so you can cancel it out now. Cool. So what is left? 8 square minus 6 square, what do you get there? You should be able to get there 28, something like that, over 6 square. And then click in calculator the whole thing, and then also times 100. You will able to get the final answer at 77.8%. You need 3 numbers in the end. So it's increasing by, so the change is increased by 77.8%. Easy. Let's move on then. Next, here, so you have the monthly income I. It's partly constant and partly varies as directly as the cells. Let's translate that. I partly constant, so the first part is nothing, and the second part directly as the square root of s. So that's your equation. You will get 1 mark by just writing the equation, of course. And then what's given? Let's see. If the income is this and the sales is this, or if the income is this and the sales is this. So input the first one first. The income is 7400 and the sales is 40k. So write it first. 7400 equals to, did I write something wrong? Nah, I did not. Just kidding. Square root 40k. And if you can calculate anything, just calculate it like that. 40k, you can square root it and you'll find it 200. And numbers we write in front. That's your first equation. Now how about the second equation? You will know that there is income as this and the sales as 90k. So 8600 equals to k1 plus k2, 90k. And then square root 90k, what do you get? Yep, 300. So that's your second equation. Now that you have 2 equations, you can use your program, or if you don't have the program, what do we do? Then we have to see if these 2 equations, they have same unknown or not. They both have k1 already, so it's good. You can do something with it. What can you do it? If you have calculator, you just write this by solving 1 and 2, you will find K1 as what? And then K2 as K1 as that, and then K2 as 12, like that. But if you don't, then you will do the second equation minus the first equation. So the answers first, 8600 minus the 7400 equals to the unknown side minus that minus that. And what do you get? K1 minus K1 cancelled out. 300 minus 200, 100 K2. And how about here? What do you get? It's 1200, and then this 100 goes there, so K2 equals to 12. Now that you found K2, just replace it in one of them. So let's put K2 as 12 into the first equation. So 7400, K1 we don't know, and then K2 we already know is 12. And then just remove this whole part to the other side, and you'll be able to get K1 as 5K. Okay, both ways okay. After finding your K's, your next step is to rewrite the whole equation. It's a must to write the equation, or else you don't get the mark. Okay, that's for part A. Now I have to make it smaller, or else I don't have enough space, of course. You can write it smaller in your exams, or try to get extra sheets. How about for part B? Part B, before you even started, remember to rewrite your equation, which is this one. Just did it from part A, right? S. That's 12, in case you forget it. Okay, now what do we have it? We need to find income. The cells are this. So we need to find I, and the cells are that. I we don't know, the other things we do know. Just write it and click whole thing in calculator, because it's all numbers, and you should be able to get your income as 14600. Remember to put the dollar sign, or you can just write income dollars 14600. Okay, cool. Again, I have to make it smaller because I need a lot of space for part C actually. Part C is very long. You have to find the percentage change again. What is percentage change? Percentage change is, how do you find it? New minus old over the old. So remember that thing. Percentage change is, it's gonna be asked so many times in this exam paper, no matter in which part. So you have to find the percentage of the income. So what's the original income and what's the new income? That's what you have to find. When his monthly sales are 4 times of that in B. What's the monthly sales in part B? This thing. So now we have to 4 times of that sales. Then you have to find the new income. Okay. So let's write all the original thing. So originally, how many sales were there in part B? Yep, that thing. So what was the original income? The income that you found in part B? Yep, 146,100, sorry. Okay, cool. And then now we have the new cells, right? New cells will be the 4 times of the originals. So original was that. Now you times 4 it. And when you times 4 it, you get the answer as this. Then what will be your new income? If you have to find the income, you have to use the formula that you had it in part A. So that's how you will find the income. So income is 5,000 plus 12 square root cells. And what do you get? 24200. Good. Just click calculators. You will be able to get it. And then what do I do next? Let me just move it to this side. This one goes a little bit up. You have to find the percentage change now. So you have your new income, you have your original income. You can find the percentage change now easily because it's all numbers this time. So your percentage change will be this new minus the old divided by the old times 100%. And you can get your answer as 65.8%. So we will say increased by 65.8%. Cool? Good. Then let's continue. What else do we have? Next question. Now it's a little easier. Pause the video, try to do on your own first, and then we can continue next part. Okay, let's continue. So here V and C is there, and that C is a sum of two parts, and one plus is blade and one part is blah, 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 so many words. So it could be any kinds of charges. It's not just a must to be electricity, right? It could be something else next time. Maybe it's some gas, it's some other things. So this C here is sum of two parts, so K1 plus K2. The first part is directly as V. The one part is directly as V, and the other part is directly as square of V. Okay, that's the thing. That's your equation. You let that equation, and then see what's the first information that you can put. Now this question, I'm nice to you that you have the numbers directly. So input the first one. C is 65, V is 50. We write numbers first, okay? 50 square and nothing else to do. So this is your first equation, and then the second one, 135 75 K1 plus 75 square K2. And then because there are two equations, so you click calculator program. By solving 1 and 2, you can find K1 and K2 as what? K1 as what and K2 as what? Now this one, if you do it in hard, is a lot harder. And so after finding the case, remember to rewrite the equations. Then that's how you get the mark. It's not yet done, because in part A you also have to use this 120, and that 120 is the V. See M cube here, M cube here, so V is 120. So you have to find C when V is 120. So it's just replacing. C is there, 0.3, and the 120. And what do you get as the answer? 324. So you can just write that the charges are $324. Okay, so that's for part A. I'm just making it smaller so that it's easier to do the next few parts. Now part B, what's happening there? Remember, no matter what's happening, you have to rewrite the equation first. This time we know that the charge is 90 and we have to find V. Let's write it down. Even if you just write this part and don't calculate the answer, you still get a step mark. And put everything on one side. That 90 was positive there, so if you move it to this side, it becomes negative. Okay, next. Now why I did this way? Now this will now look like a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c, right? That way you can click your calculator, formula 01. So formula 01 is also the orange button, and go all three things in order, and you will be able to find V as two answers. 60. Execute again. V as negative 75. What was V? V was the electricity consumed. Can it be a negative? Can electricity consumed? It's consumed already, so how can that be a negative? So that's why this part is rejected. So we will write consumed 60 unit, very important. Cool. Let's continue. The last question of section B. Here again you have a cost, and then it's made up of two different parts. So sum of two parts, it's made up of a fixed amount A and also an operating cost. So this big C is part two things. One is A and the other thing. What's happening with the other things? It's an operating cost, and that operating cost varies inversely as the books. So that means that will be K over N there. Okay, so that's your equation. And what's the information given in the question? 50 books produced. So books produced are called N. Then the cost will be $30. And if it's more books, then it will become different. So we do the 50 books first. N is 50. Is it? Yeah. Then your C will be $30. So we input that. C is 30. A we don't know. K we don't know. N is 50. That's your, is it your first equation? Of course, yes. And then the second one, we know that N is 100 and C is 25. So again, replace it. A plus K over 100. That's your second equation. Now that you have two equations, again click calculator. Now how will you click calculator for this one? 1 over 50, 30. 1 over 100, 25. And then you will find your answers. The first unknown is A, so you will also have the A as the first unknown, which will be 20. And then the second unknown is your K, which will be 500. After finding the two unknowns, rewrite the equation, which is 20 plus 500 over N. Now that you have the, part A, you just needed to find here. And then for part B, you just write the equation again. It's up to you, of course, if you want to repeat the question or not. This thing is just write it for part B. It's also okay. I had done A and B together, that's why. So this and this is done. Now what's happened with C? C, we know that the originally one book was $30. That's the cost. But now they don't want to spend so much on the production cost. They want to reduce this by 20%. Then how many books should be produced? Let's write it slowly. Original cost is $30. Now what will be our new cost that we want? We just know it's reduced by 20%, which will be calculated 3 times 8. 24, yep, $24. And so that means our cost is, we have to find the books, and our cost is 24. Rewrite the equation first. So C is 24. 20 plus 500 over N. How do we calculate this? Move this 20 to the other side first, and you will be able to get that as 24 minus 20, and then 500 over N. Now this N is divided here. If you move to the other side, it will become 4N equals to 500. Now 4 is multiplied, so if you want to make it on the other side, you divide it. So how many books are required? 125 books are needed to be produced if you want to lower the price. So that's for the section B. Hope you like it, and then if you have, you can do it again and again and again so that you can get full marks in this part as well. So see you for next part soon.